Let's see. All right, we're up and running. Hey, by the way, what do you go by? You go by Phillip Wilcox or?
Phillip. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. We'll roll with that. All right, here we go.
Warning: if you're faint of heart or easily offended, this show is not for you.
I don't give a damn about what you saying, bitch, you in the way. Closed case, my nigga beat the charges like yesterday. In your face, I'ma go hard and make sure you see the cake. Keep the pace, ain't no one fucking with me, this not a race. Doing the shit that I want, I'm never gonna stop, I'm never gonna give in. Making my way to the top, I told you to ride, I told you to get in. Now you can't eat out my pot, it's filled to the top, and I'm about to dig in. You say I was doing you wrong.
Welcome to the Go Rogue podcast. I'm Roger Stout, and joining me tonight is Phillip Wilcox, the owner of Cowboy. And
Yes, sir.
I think the first time I met you was actually at a show where I've got Stack Off Dog, you got Stack Off Dog. So, and just, I'm like a low energy person, right? I'm just not that guy, and like you are on the other end of the stage with the extreme opposite, like complete energy. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what the hell is going on down there? So even from that point, I was like, I got to figure out who this guy is. Like the energy level is crazy. So it was fun. Immediately I was like, you know what? I'll just reach out to him, see if he's willing to come onto the show. Some people are kind of freaked out about it, but you were definitely open to it. Let me jump in the comments here, make sure we got something going on. We got 20 people watching already, which is good.
I think it was Jacksonville. Tone's show. King of the Ring Stack Off is when I think the first time we met. I knew who you were, but I think that's the first time we met.
Cool. So where are you located exactly? I don't even know that. Like, what state are you in?
So I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada again. I was up until about 2 months ago. I was in Dallas, Texas, Little Elm, Texas, right, just north of Dallas. And um, my daughter, she ended up moving back to Las Vegas after college, and I've been gone about 6 years and lived here 15 years before that. And I was doing dogs here in the past, and I didn't have a job at the time. My company just went out of business, so I said, screw it, I'm gonna move back to Las Vegas and be with my daughter, and so me and the dogs packed it up and we moved back to Las Vegas.
Nice. So that was the other thing I didn't know, because I went and looked at your profile and I try to nib shit on people's profiles to see, I look and I see Cowboy and I see Cowboy as he's younger, but I didn't really see any other dogs. So what is your
shame on me?
So what's your history with the breed? Like, how did you get started with it?
Oh man, so it's a long story, but I'll make it short. So, I started with the breed in I'm 43 now. I started with American Pit Bull Terriers in high school, and that all started from I was scared of dogs, man. I got my face mauled by a pit bull when I was 8 years old. I had plastic surgery here, so you can still see like a chicken foot here where my face was all hanging down. This was all wide open. I spent a few weeks in the hospital, and I was scared of dogs. And come high school, I mean, a pit bull walked by me, and I was like shaking in my boots, And I think I had to overcome that fear. My mom told me I couldn't have a pit bull, so I went and bought one anyway. When I was 15, I had my first job, and it took about 3 months before she found out that I was hiding a dog in my room. And then she fell in love with the dogs too, and she actually does Bullies now. And so I was doing pit bulls in Riverside, California, American Pit Bull Terriers like Red Nose, Larsen. I had some ADBA dogs. I was always at the UKC shows, American Staffordshires, American Pit Bull Terriers. That was my thing. I thought I had like the baddest Razor's Edge dog in California until I was at this UKC show at Fairmount Park, and Remy showed up. I was like, damn, okay, I don't have the baddest dog here anymore. But and then these dogs called American Bullies came out, and I had to check them out. And so I went to the first show. I think it was Pomona, California, and I seen Rob Lee walking with Bistro and Lock and Load, and I was like, damn, I need me one of them. And so I talked to Rob. He had a couple breedings going on with Bistro, and one of them was my boy Brian Cooper, Structure Line. This was probably about 12 years ago. And so Brian Cooper had a breeding with Bistro to champion Foxy, which was a peanut, Cichlids peanut daughter, and female, bad little female that he had champed out, I think, in one weekend. You know, Brian's a man when it comes to showing dogs. He can champ out a dog quick. And so I got my first bully, Suki, off Bistro. And then I got my second dog from Brian as well, Maguson, Structure Line Stackhouse. And I thought he was going to be the shit, you know. And I showed him, he was 10 points away from champion, but I retired him from breeding and from showing. He had some anxiety problems, and I just didn't want to pass that on. So, you know, I kind of, I've been around a while. It's just I never really had a cowboy, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was just always that guy in the back, just loving everybody else's dogs, and you know, wanting to join the crowd. And you know, man, I was a huge fan of Alex Ferraro for a long time, and Lucky Luciano. You know, they easily became you know my favorite dog. I bred to him like 4 times. Yeah, I had a couple litters with him. Which I still have one of my female off Lucky Luciano. It's my Bistro daughter at the house. She's my oldest dog. Yeah, and then you know, actually, you know, and then getting Cowboy was a blessing in disguise for me. You know, my Lucky Luciano daughter off my Bistro daughter, Presley, Lisa Marie Presley. She, I went to go breed her to Grand Champion Chaos, and whenever we did the TCI, the vet, you know, went in. And once he got to her uterus, he said, you know, your dog can't have pups. And I'm like, what do you mean? You know, we got the semen right here, about to inject that. We're having puppies.
Yeah.
And, you know, and he said, you know, she's got an abnormal uterus. And I was like, what do you mean by that? You know, I'm looking, I'll show, what are you talking about? He showed me like, I guess it's supposed to be all squishy in there, you know, and hers was like real thin walls. And so, you know, I had a Grand Champion El Toro daughter too, which she had got pyometra. She couldn't breed. Suki couldn't breed anymore. She had got fixed. So I had retired her. So I had no females and to breed anymore. And I had the Grand Champion Chaos credit. And Mike was nice enough to let me sell it. So I sold it to someone that that he had bought his first bully off me. And he ended up producing Cowboy's mom with that credit. And then, you know, yeah, Cowboy ended up being born a few years later. And man, tell you the truth, I wasn't even looking for a male, so I'm never buying a male again, you know, because I thought Stackhouse was going to be the ish, you know, the next big thing. And he turned out, you know, I loved him, but not a lot of other people saw what I saw in him. You know, and then I seen Cowboy at 3 weeks old on Facebook, and he was available, and I didn't want a male, and for some reason that night, you know, I was hitting him up, and next thing you know, I named him that night. Actually, me and my daughter was in Texas visiting from college, and I had a friend over. We were just messing around, and probably had a little alcohol in me too. I'm like, I'm buying this dog.
Yeah, so, I usually do it. So you're on the West Coast for a while, and then with basically earlier rendition of the American Bully, basically.
Yes.
So you moved to Texas, and Texas is where you pick up Cowboy, right?
Yes, yeah, and I'm originally from Texas, and you know the plan was always to go back. Oh my God,
it happened.
What happened? What do we do? There we go.
Back to you.
So the plan was to always go back to Texas when my daughter left to college. You know, I just wanted to be in Vegas up until the time that you know, she went to college. And so, you know, I left a little bit early, about a year early, but I already knew she was going to college and whatnot. I had a really good job opportunity out there. And then she came back here, and, you know, it feels like home again, to be honest.
I hear you. So from saying Cowboy's mom is it was actually off of a breeding that you had. What did you had? You had a stud credit, or what? How'd that go again?
Yeah, I had the Grand Champion Chaos stud credit, and I had sold it to someone that I had sold a dog to before, and he ended up producing Cowboy's mom drama with that.
Okay.
And yeah, so blessing in disguise.
And then what's that? Yeah. Golden Child?
Golden Child, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he bred her to Golden Child, which produced Cowboy, and you know, Cowboy was the litter, but man, he was a beautiful puppy, and you know, something just attracted me to him, and then you know, and yeah,
That from there.
man, that loss that I thought that, you know, made me quit doing dogs for a while turned out to be like the best blessing I've had in dogs, and it's just
Right.
been all wins since then.
And it's kind of funny because, you know, like we have had different people on every week, and we kind of talk to them about their progression in the breed. And it gets so, when you have that dog, like, how much less work is it? You know what I mean? You literally just show up, you know,
You show up.
yeah, you just show up. You're like, "Poof, here it is, you know, and people are like,
Yeah.
oh, damn, you know, it's just that easy. So, but it's hard. You mean, you had dogs before that you were confident in, right? But you just
Yeah.
couldn't get people in the community to feel it the way you were feeling it. And
Yeah.
that's tough sometimes.
Exactly.
That's really tough. So you first get Cowboy, you just got him. Like, did you have plans immediately, or you just like, you know, I'm gonna kind of sit in the background here for a while, watch him grow up, see what happens?
No, you know, it's he looked like a little freak. He was like this big when I got him. He was like when he showed up at 8.5 weeks and he delivered him to me, you know, he showed up in my office and I seen him, I was like, what? He's like this big. Like I was like expecting him to be a lot bigger because he looked like this swole, you know, muscled up
Yeah,
little pup.
coupled up fella.
And he was tiny, but he was just freaky, you know. And I've been around dogs, you know, since high school. I've been doing these dogs. My first litter was 14. I had 14 pups, and I've had quite a few litters in the past, and you know, they were all bigger than you know than seeing him. But he was a freak. And if you go back and you look at my posts from when Cowboy was a puppy, man, I just knew there was something special about him. And you know, and a lot of people on Facebook told me I was crazy, and he's not really going to be, you know, anything big, not a big star, you know, whatnot. And I was just, I just kept doing my thing and pushing Cowboy. And I used to get told I posted him too much, putting too many photos. You should don't do cell shots, don't do video, only do pro shots. I've done a lot of pro shots. Cowboy's got like over 100 and something pro shots now. But I just love it, man. You should see how many photos I got of him on my phone. It's kind of scary. But yeah, I knew he was special, and you know, just looking at him every day, I'd never seen a dog that looked like that. You know, it was like kind of when I seen Seven for the first time. When your wife walked up on the stage at Jacksonville at the King of the Ring stack off with Seven, I was like, I think I said like, holy fuck, who's that monster? It's like, because you know when a dog's different, he's different, you know.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's how I felt about him.
Yeah.
And he does make it easy. You know, funny you said that. Toy Soldier Jim, he said at one of the shoots, man, he was done like that. And I was like, did you get the shot? Because I'm like looking like shit, man. Did you get a good one? And he was like, oh yeah, he makes it easy on me. And you know, and he got it like quick. You know, and he shot him 3 or 4 times now, and they all go pretty quick. And I'm like, are you sure you got the shot? And then I see the pictures, and I'm like, holy shit, you got like 20 of them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and it's nice about him, but you kind of know, like, you can get the dog in the position he's looking for to get the shot, boom, it's over quick. But you know, he's trying to take the most optimal picture of the dog. But in some dogs, it's not that easy. You know, sometimes he has to take a bunch of shots. But yeah, when you have a truly exceptional dog, they shine. It doesn't matter. You can put a cell phone on them. You can put, you know, a pro shot. You can shoot a video of them, whatever, and it usually does well. So, and obviously,
Cowboy, we're talking about you, buddy. He's watching with my daughter right now.
Oh, is he? But yeah. So what was the first time you brought him out? And like, so let's back up a minute. You actually purchased him. Basically, how old was he when you got him? You said.
I purchased him at 3 weeks old, and I got him at 8.5 weeks old.
Okay.
Yeah, he was
so pretty much he showed up at your house, and you were like, "This dog's a freak," and he's only 8 weeks old.
So, yeah. He showed up in my office, and it was like, man. And I brought ever since I got him, I would take him to work with me every day, you know. And I had him. I was working, and he was delivered to my office, and man, he was just the coolest little thing. I couldn't, you know, I wanted him by my side 24/7, and I still do. I can't wait to get home to him right now.
Yeah. So I think obviously, and that seemed kind of obvious to me, even when you were on the stack stage, is like you had a connection with this dog. He wasn't like the kid's dog. He was like your dog.
never bonded with a dog like this before in my life. And I've had some males that, man, I would die for them. And Peanut, my first, well, my second pit bull, Caber, Peanut, Nemo, my first Razor's Edge pit bull, which I guess you would consider American Bully nowadays. But yeah, I bonded with them. But him, it was just like from day one, we just have this connection. And I mean, he talks to me. When I get home right now, he's gonna, as soon as he sees me, he's
Yeah,
he's gonna start loving up on me. Yeah, we do everything together,
So you started about what age did you start hitting shows with him? Like, did you?
So I was really careful because I sold a kidney to get Cowboy, and so I was being really careful. I didn't want to take him out before 6 months, and I debuted him at ABKC Nationals in Dallas, 2021 ABKC Nationals in Dallas, and I mean, from the moment we walked in the door, it was just I was getting stopped left and right, and I think Rami, 51, the one that owns 5150 and Dopamine, he stopped me like immediately right when I came through the door and was like, "Who is this?" And he was like, "I want to use that dog. I already know what he's going to turn out like." And it was just from the whole time I was at that show. We were supposed to show that day, but it was so hard to find parking. I was late, and so we ended up showing him. And I didn't know what a micro was back then. And
Right.
I thought Cowboy was gonna be pocket,
Yeah.
and it was like, but he turned out to be micro, and I was like, damn, what do I do with him? I can show him, but it's a big flaw to be under 14 inches, and he's 12 3/4 at the withers, top of the withers, and so he's a small dog, but he had those big dog features, and he was just special. And I was like, man, I can't just not compete with him just because he's little. I got to do something. So I wasn't big on stack offs either. And then, I was like, I'll try this stack off thing. And I think Jeremiah Fry told me, you need to take him rumble the jungle. That's the first time I seen Golden Child 2 rumble in the jungle in Dallas. And oof, man, that dog's a freak. I was like, I got to have one of those. And he told me to start doing stack offs. And I wasn't really big on them. And to tell you the truth, the first couple times I did it, it felt kind of weird.
Yeah.
But now I'm addicted.
Well, I think everybody has, because I spoke about it before, and I'm kind of that like speak when spoken to kind of person. Like I'm generally quiet and I don't really, I'm a little reserved. So for me to do something like that is pretty unusual. But it's weird is after you do it the first time, right? You get that first time jitters out of the way, right? But after that, then yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like you're just going to go up there and either you do or don't. Some people like to talk their shit when they're up there. Some people don't.
Yeah.
Some people just stand there, whatever. But the dogs really speak for themselves. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think, especially for a dog like Cowboy, he's not tall enough to be in the pocket class, so that is a great way to market him is through stack offs.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Because there is a absolutely huge market for micro males, a lot. And I'm sure you find all the other Golden Child kids and stack up and do stack offs. I've seen so many stack offs of just Golden Child kids.
That was so right now we hold the title at BullyCon for best Golden Child son, but our very first stack off, I got invited to Chicago for the best Golden Child son stack off at Chicagoland BullyCon.
Yep.
Man, and it was like I'm seeing, like I know all these dogs I'm seeing on the internet are going to be there. It's like R2G2, Trapzilla, 24K, Lord Titan, Godsent, and then Golden Child's going to be there too. And Cowboy's like this little 13-month-old little guy. He's the youngest and the smallest. Godsent's smaller, but he's got some exotic in him. He's a little smaller, but I was, man, driving up to Chicago, I was nervous as shit. I ain't gonna lie. I was nervous. And then we got there, man, and I just had so much fun. And then seeing Cowboy next to all his brothers and next to his dad, he's almost the exact same size as dad, and they have they're very similar. Cowboy's a little bit smaller, shorter back, but man, and I've seen him next to RTG2, 24K, Lord Titan, Trapzilla. And I was like, damn, he still looks good, you know?
Yeah.
And after that, I wasn't worried anymore and all that nervous about stacking, you know. I wasn't worried about it. I knew Cowboy could hold his own, you know, and so I'll go stack with any dog, anytime, any place. You know, I don't care what the size is. I think it's awesome doing it. It's fun. And you know, even if we lose, I still have a great time. You know, I don't know if you remember, but this last Chicagoland Bully Con, we just oh, Kingzilla too. Sorry, my apologies. Kingzilla was at that first one, and he won Best Golden Child Son at the first one. And then this last year, 2023, we took it, and I don't know if you remember, but all the big Wow Factor dogs got up on stage there, and you were up there. You were next to Trapzilla with Machiavelli, and I was like, we were heading up on stage, and I was like, okay, where are we gonna go in? I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get in between those big ass beasts right there. We jumped in the middle of you guys. That was a really fun one too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't take it personal, you know, and that's one thing I like. You know, some people will get kind of in their feels when it comes to that kind of thing, but that's not really what it's about. It's just about marketing, right? Some people will get online and they'll get upset or whatever, but the reality of it is it's just about marketing, and that's for a dog, that style dog, that is the absolute best. Obviously, you do a lot of things to market. You do photos, you post a lot now, what I would call the shirt. Okay.
I got Cowboys on the back too.
Oh, yeah. But you do a lot of kind of random, you know, you just make a video of him in the house somewhere, you know what I mean? Like you don't strictly make it only pro shots, right?
Right. Yeah, I'll take you know, I'll take cell phone shots, videos, like right before nationals. It was late at night, and this last one where we just did the stack off, it was late at night and I couldn't sleep, so I took him outside in that little you know, outside we were staying at the Hilton America that's connected to the convention center, and they got that courtyard outside in the front, like and it's kind of like in the front of the convention center and the Hilton. So I took him out in that courtyard, and you know, we just started stacking, and I took video of him, and he just held a stack for like, you know, a minute and something. I could have kept going, but you know, posted that video. I just love my dog, so I'll just show him off as much as possible, you know, and it really don't bother me. You know, he's, you know, there was a lot of people doubting him and when he was younger, but I think we've done enough now to where it doesn't really matter. I can post whatever I want, and he's still Cowboy, you know.
Well, I think it goes with every dog, even after they're adult. You know, the wrong guy's going to run across a picture of your dog, and then like some people never got taught, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people just live to get in people's comments and run their mouth, like they have nothing better to do. So a lot of that, you as a breeder, as a stud owner, you have to take a lot of that with a grain of salt. Like it doesn't matter. Like majority of the time, it's if something happens on the internet and it brings negative light to your dog, it's gone in 5 minutes anyway. So who cares? It's fine.
Yeah, I didn't believe there was really like there was really haters out there until I got Cowboy. It was like, man, they start coming out the woodworks.
Oh yeah.
But you know, I'm not gonna lie, I've got upset a couple times, and I'll do talk shit a little bit. When I talk shit, it's more like fun, and that's how I started kind of promoting Cowboy at first. I said, you know, I'm gonna do the Conor McGregor style, but I'm never gonna bash anybody's dog or anybody in specific. I just say I got the baddest fucking micro in the world. Comes, you know, and if you think different, you know, put your dog next to him, you know, and I have got mad, you know, a couple times and said some stuff that you know, I was like, damn, why'd I let them get me up in my feelings? And so I try not to, and you know, I try not to get upset. And people do talk shit during stack offs, but it doesn't really bother me unless you attack us personally or try to like discredit him. Like, you know, some people are saying he can't move, this and that, his rear's not great, blah blah blah. It's like, man, I'll show you him from every angle, and I got video of him gating around the ring. You know, what else are you gonna say?
Yeah. Well,
pick an angle.
we've got a serious problem in our breed that no matter how the breed develops, no matter how it grows and gets better and better and better, for some reason, when it comes to movement, people still compare the American Bully to the Pit Bull. So they see how the Pit Bull moves, they look at how the American Bully moves, and they say, well, it doesn't move right. No, American Bully moves like an American Bully. They have additional mass and bone, and they just can't move like a pit bull. They just never will. So that's a hard thing. And the shorter they get, I mean, we're getting 13, 14 inches on a dog. You can't
real extreme dogs too.
Yeah, exactly. Super extreme dogs. Like there's a market for every one of these dogs. A lot of people will use, I'm sure you've probably met a ton of people that you didn't even know existed because of Cowboy, just because there's people that breed strictly micros.
Yeah. Oh man, there's a lot of I met a lot of people because of Cowboy. A lot of cool people, and then some people are not so cool. And and my apologies if anybody's listening that I've done this to. Man, once I started studying Cowboy out, so many people had locked him in. Like it was just when he was at $2,500 when I opened him, they were going like hotcakes. And a lot of people don't have their picture on Facebook, whatnot. So you just see their dog, and then there was so many. The list is so long. I forget who we're breeding to. I forget who their dog is, and what the pedigree is. And I feel bad because they'll come and they'll introduce themselves at the shows. And my apologies, guys. It's like usually I don't know what you look like, and then there's just so many. Sometimes I forget. I got to go look at my list and see who's who and who their dog is, and then but that kind of thing. But I'm sure you got some of the baddest dogs in the world.
Well, it is. You were describing that situation. I was like, oh my god, I know exactly what he's talking about. Somebody will message you and they're like, my girl's ready, and I'm like, for who?
Who are you? You got to go look at your list.
Yeah, I got to go look at my lock and be like, I know, like. You talked to me, you locked the dog in with me, right? But I talked to you and 15 other people. So sometimes I don't, but I don't want to be rude and be like, well, who the hell did you lock in? You know what I mean? So I actually will go just like you will go to the sheet and look and say, oh, okay, he locked in so. Okay. But, people are, that's one aspect of having a stud that I really enjoy is just how excited people are the moment it's their turn. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I'm ready. You got to ship it tomorrow. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's always last minute.
Yes. Man, those last minute ones. We usually I think only when I was moving to Vegas, I missed. I think that was my first miss. But otherwise, we've always made it. And man, they're always last minute. I mean, there's some people that are really on it and they keep you up to speed and let you know every day like where their female's at. And whatnot, and then some it's like, hey, she's ready, or she was ready. She was ready today. I need it tomorrow. It's like shit. Yep. Okay, what we got to do?
Yeah, exactly. So moving from Texas, that probably didn't change much because you probably don't have many people that locked in that were like, well, I'm in Texas, so I know he's local. It's probably more. I don't even know. Is there a higher concentration of type of micros in like a certain area of the United States?
I'm going to say probably, from Texas, east and north, man, Chicago up in that area. Man, they got some really nice dogs. I don't see a lot of micros, to be honest. I see them on Facebook, but I don't see them in person. Kenny Wayne has got Daniels on, which man, he's probably the baddest micro I've seen in person, and with that's the closest to Cowboy, and he kind of that kind of helped kick off Cowboy's career. We had a big stack off for the Micro Bully World Title at Rumble in the Jungle 4.0, and we promoted the shit out of that. That was awesome. That was a hell of a lot of fun, and we even talked shit to each other a little bit, like making it seem like we were actually talking shit, but we were being cool in the background. And it was awesome. But a lot of people don't bring their micros out.
Yeah, that particular method of fabricating drama is not new. We've heard it before, and it's so funny. It's like work because that is now in a stack off situation, maybe not necessarily, but we've heard of cases where people have just kind of generated Facebook drama, even though it's not actually true, just to like
we did that.
You know what I mean? And it works so good because people love to share bullshit.
They love drama,
but they don't want to share good news. So
Nah.
it's just one of those things. You're like, well, we'll just make up some bullshit. Like, I'm pissed off at you, or you're pissed off at me, or we'll just like fight with the dogs, and like that shit goes around quick.
Yeah.
It's a good tactic. It's interesting. I've seen it happen a couple times. So
it worked. It worked for us. I'll tell you. People were loving it. And there's actually a guy here named Alex here in Las Vegas that's got a Danielson son, and man, he was saying he loved that when we were doing that stack off with those two, and it really worked. I mean, it got a lot of people's attention, and shit, Cowboy stock went up.
yeah, that's good. That's the goal, right? That's the goal.
Yep. Yeah.
So what's the plan? Do you have anything hidden? Are you just Cowboy for now? Are you doing some breedings or?
So yeah, I'm glad you asked that. Yes. Oh man, we got some great news yesterday. So I got so me and Richard Brown did a breeding to his female Dior off Golden Child, and I just had to have the pup off that litter, and man, I got a male, and I don't think he would let me get anything other than a male like the one that I got. He said this is the one, and man, I seen him, and he was the one. Tombstone. He turns 6 months tomorrow, and he's a freak.
Yeah.
My daughter looks at him. She's like, Dad, I think you got more muscle today. And I'm like, yeah. Yesterday when I got home and he was walking next to Cowboy, they're walking in front of me. We went for a walk, and they're sitting there side by side, trotting along in front of me, and I'm like, damn, it's like he's going to be probably about 13 and a half inches, I'm thinking, at tall, and a little bit. He's already got more bone than Cowboy, and his muscle mass is insane. His chest spread is insane. You guys will see him at the 20K stack off this year. I'll have Cowboy already told Wade that we'll be there. We missed the last one because we were doing Bullies in Paradise in Puerto Rico, and the same day. And so I was watching the 20K stack off where we were stacking off over there. But we'll be there this year. Tombstone will be there. I do have a Golden Child daughter that I got from Drew Zimmerman. She's the nicest female I've ever had, and she's going to go to Cowboy her next heat. She'll be ready. She's a bad little bitch. She's lilac. Well, she's like a ghost brindle lilac. She's a really pretty color, and like in the sun, you can see like lilac stripes through her. It's really neat. She's like a blonde. I've never seen that color before, but when I got her, I did see a couple other people. I talked to them that they said that they had dogs, and they showed me pictures that had that same thing, but that's only seen it a few times, and it's just really, really pretty. And she's a very nice micro female. She looks a lot like Cowboy, to be honest with you. Right. And so I think they're gonna make some. They're not gonna make show dogs, but I got another one that. So from Cowboy's first litter, I've got Odessa Cowgirl, which she's Baby O now. She's with Natalia. Issa owns her in North Texas by Dallas. Okay. And when I was moving to Las Vegas, I had to downsize some of my and rehome some of my dogs, and she was really special to me. But she's a really big girl, and I didn't have the room for her, so I kept my smaller ones. And I know Natalia, she loves Excels. And she's got that beautiful ranch in Texas, and she's got like that new facility. It's like dog paradise. And I was like, man, I'm gonna hit her up and see if she wants Odessa. And so I did, and she said, heck yeah. And I was like, oh my God, thank God, because I've never let a dog go before. Like, sure. I've never rehomed a dog my whole life. Like once the dog grows up with me, and she was about a year old. They stay with me. That's it. And so, man, it broke my heart, but I knew she'd be in good hands. And then we had some plans already for her, and the plan was to take her to Trapzilla. And so we ended up doing that. And we just confirmed yesterday she got a belly full of Trapzilla puppies on the way. Cool. And she's a 93-pound chocolate female, very, very big boned, booty for days. She got ass for days, big old head. She's a big girl, and I think they're going to make some beautiful dogs. And the reason I picked her is because her structure, and she's a show dog. She could easily go in the ring and champ out, no problem. I mean, she floats like Mufasa or like Rocco. I mean, she reminds me a lot of Rocco, actually. You know, I actually hit you up when I seen 7 because I was debating, and the only reason I didn't go or the reason I went the way I did is because I wanted to double up more on that golden child, you know, with her. But 7, hey, you never know, maybe Natalia, because when I seen 7, he impressed the shit out of me, and I really wanted to take her to a big extreme dog, you know, and so yeah, hit up Natalia Issa, guys. This one's gonna be good. You know, it's I'm real excited. I'm either gonna have my next super stud off that one, or a female that I'm gonna take straight to cowboy. So
a lot of people, you know, a lot of people when they look at 7, they don't kind of relate that to Golden Child, you know, but 7's mom is Golden Child's cis litter mate, so very within the same blood, within that same litter. You know what I mean? So
yeah, there's a lot of big dogs in that litter. Golden Child was the only small dog, right?
Right, yeah, he was the only micro from it, and he's just, you know, he's just proven himself. Like, he just produces that kind of dog over and over again. It's kind of crazy. But shout out to Richard Brown. He's good.
That's
people.
my dude.
He's good people.
Yeah,
good people.
Yeah. Man, you guys need to check out his fish fry. That dude can fry some fish, and those hot dogs, man. Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time. I'm definitely going back this year.
He came up here once to see some dogs and just hang out. But no, we had some plans to do some stuff, and things didn't quite work out. But I'm hoping we can hook back up later and do something, because I really like his attitude and his motivation. Like, those are the kind of people, like, every time I make a post, I'm like, all right, I don't want to be too cocky, I don't want to say too much, you know what I mean? And then Richard's just like, fuck it, we're just gonna say whatever. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Whatever the hell I want to say.
Yeah. Oh man, he's got some beautiful pups off of Cowboy and Dior right now. That, oh man, I wanted a second one, and we're gonna do that, but then things changed, and you know, I decided I was moving here, and it would have just been irresponsible for me to get another dog at this time. Right. You know, so I had to hold off, and I'm still bummed about it right now. Yeah. She's beautiful, but yeah, he's got some bad dogs. Yeah, off of Cowboy and Dior. Whew. Yeah, I'm excited to see them grow up.
Richard said, I'm staying quiet right now.
Nope. Talk your shit, bro.
So the move, I'm assuming the move probably slowed you down a little bit, right? Because you're trying to like recalibrate yourself and get everything set up. And
it slowed me down on the plans. You know, the plans was kind of, man, I want to buy a ranch in Texas and get a dog facility and move out there. You know, I feel, and I was on that track until, you know, telecom industry went to shit in 2023. You know, so yeah, slow me down a little bit, but it's not slowing me down in the shows. You know, we just flew out to Houston. You know, Cowboy flies with me, so we hopped on a plane, flew out to Houston a couple weeks ago for nationals. January 21st, we'll be in Puerto Rico for Bullies in Paradise 2, Rumble on the Island. They combined Bullies in Paradise with Rumble in the Jungle for this one. So, you know, June will be out there.
Nice.
Man, there's some people from the States going out there, a lot of cool people. Carlos Font's going out. Yeah, I'm excited. But I'm still going to be doing that. You know, that's not going to stop. And Tombstone will be out there competing soon too.
Let me ask you this: how many shows did you hit in 23?
Oh man, a lot, man. I went to Chicago, Florida a couple times, Texas, all over Texas, a few shows, Oklahoma. Man, over 10.
I was going to say that there was more than a few times I'd be at a show and you'd be there.
Yeah.
Usually, if I'm traveling, like if I go to an Ohio show and I see a certain person, and then I go to a show in, say, Georgia, and that person isn't there, but then I go back to a northern show and they're there, I can kind of figure out where they live, right? Based off the shows they show up to. I had no idea where the hell you lived, because I would be in Florida, you're there, in Ohio, you're there. I'm like, I don't know where the hell this guy's from. He's always here. He's always traveling.
Man, Cowboy was more than willing to pay for it, so I was like, "Screw it, let's go."
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Yeah.
But
You know, traveling and showing's expensive, you know, but we tried to make it to all the big ones and then close ones, local ones. You know, I just love going out to shows, even if we're not competing. Yeah, I like being around the dogs, man.
yeah, for sure. But that's a testament to, we kind of to preach about that and say, yeah, you can get your photos and you can post them on social media. But the reality of it is there still isn't a replacement for showing up, especially when a
No.
dog's new, especially when a dog is young, and people just need to see him. The more proven
Show up and show out.
Yep. Now the more proven the dog is, the little less necessary, right? If a dog's very well proven, he's an older dog, he's got, so X amount of offspring, you'll notice these dogs just don't show up anymore. Like they just stop showing up, kind of typical of the situation, but definitely when they're young and you've got something to prove, you hit them shows and make sure everyone gets to see the dog.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Roger, man, I hate to say it, man, this thing is draining my battery fast, and if I plug into my truck, it tries to switch over to CarPlay, and it won't, and it's the only way I charge it, man. So if I lose you, man, I apologize. I tried to hop in here and charge it and get it charged, but man, it's going fast.
Okay. Well, that's no big deal. No big deal.
But man, if I do lose you, man, I really appreciate you having me on, and man, you and your wife are some of the coolest people that I get to see at the shows. And man, I love seeing your wife out there stacking sevens. It's man, you can just tell she enjoys it. She loves dogs, and man, I love seeing the emotion when she wins. Man, it's like that's how I feel when I win. It's like, man, it's like such a great feeling. And yeah, it's pretty cool seeing you guys. I love dogs, and I love people that love dogs.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's unusual. She is not afraid to, like, a lot of people like, either you're going wild on the stage and like, or you kind of be a little bit reserved. And she is just one of those, like, she will show you that raw, real emotion when it comes to her dog.
Yeah, I thought, man, the 20K stack off when she won, I was like, you just see it, and yeah, that was really cool. That was really cool to watch. I wish I was there for that.
No doubt. Yeah, it was fun. I look forward to you being at the next one. Hopefully we get to make the next one. But yeah, it was kind of wild.
What's your next show?
I think the Georgia season opener, I believe. Okay. Yeah, I believe that's the next one, but I don't know, 99% of the time.
So I'm planning Bullies in Paradise 2, Rumble on the Island. Then hopefully it's real quick. So I'm going to try to do it Rumble in the Jungle in February in Dallas, so 5.0. But then the next one, ABKC show will be at is the Jacksonville Bully Showdown Tone Show, so hopefully we see you guys there again. But yeah, man, that was one of the best shows I've been to. I got to do it again this year.
Well, believe it or not, that was the first show we ever went to, was Tone.
Oh, really?
So that's kind of our anniversary. Like, we kind of think of it as our anniversary of showing, even though we didn't show it. We just,
you guys just hit the ground running and just that's really all gas, no brakes. You see those people saying that all the time on Facebook, all gas, no brakes. What you guys just did was all gas. Yeah, congratulations on all your wins in 2023, especially if saying that's your first show. Woof. Man, y'all really killed it,
I appreciate it. Well, no, that wasn't one where 7 was there, wasn't our first. I'm just saying Jacksonville was the first show we ever went to.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We went there and we were like, all the big dogs at the time were there. Let me see who all, like Baby Cakes was there, and there was like a bunch of well-known studs, which I didn't know at the time, but I'm just like, holy shit, look at all these dogs. So huge learning process. So yeah, we always go to the Jacksonville. If we don't go to any other show, we end up going to that.
Okay, cool. Well, then we'll see each other at that one for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tone's on next week, so he's going to be on top.
Oh, nice.
All right. Well, with your battery dying, even though we could probably bullshit with you all night, we'll go ahead and let you go. That way you can get your shit charged up and get home to your boy. I know you want to get home to your boy.
I can't wait.
I appreciate you coming on and chatting with us. And
yeah, thanks for having me. Happy New Year, guys, and Happy New Year to everybody watching. Absolutely. It's going to be another fun year. Let's go have some fun with dogs, and don't just post them on Facebook. Bring them out. I want to see them in person.
For sure. That's right. All right, brother. Have a good one. It was good seeing you.
You too, bro. Have a good night.
Bye. Let's see here. All right. So he had to go a little early, but that's all right. That's all right. So we're going to wrap it up tonight. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I appreciate Phillip coming on and talking to us a little bit about Cowboy and his experience with Cowboy. Make sure you tune in next week. We do have Tone Roland coming on. He's going to be talking about his show there in Jacksonville, and obviously we'll probably be doing a little Waffle House talk. So make sure you tune in next week to check that out. All right, guys, later.